Now, we've heard from testimony, Zachary still has access to children. That terrifies me. That should terrify this court. Some actions are just so heinous.
Notice how the prosecution isn't pulling any punches here. They're emphasizing that even if this happened only once, the sheer gravity of the crime overrides any excuses. In legal terms, that's hammering on aggravating factors. The severity outweighs any plea for leniency. Do you agree with that stance, or should one-time offenses be treated differently?
That it doesn't matter that it's a one-time thing. It doesn't matter that it's one.
Chilling, right? The defense is already signaling denial and lack of remorse. And here's a key insight. In sentencing, lack of remorse can tip the balance between probation and prison. Judges look for accountability. It's a big deal.
Child, he needs to be held accountable. He's still not taking responsibility. He's still saying this didn't happen. That he's being framed. He's not showing remorse. He's not apologizing, just blaming. We're asking you, based on the facts of this case, based on what Alice and her family have been through, based on what he's done to this entire family, that you send him to
CR 8670, State of Texas versus Zachary Warren. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Robert Mauer for defendant, Your Honor.
All right, are you Zachary Warren?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea in this case. I think someone else did the plea. So you entered a plea on April 19th. To the offense of indecency with the child by contact. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment should be assessed at a cap of 12 years. The state is opposed to your applications. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
We have, Your Honor.
Defense?
We have, Your Honor.
Any objections, state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No.
State, do you have any witnesses?
We have one brief witness. Marina is getting her.
All right.
Good morning, Sharissa. Good morning. You understand that we're here for sentencing today.
Yes.
Can you tell the court who Allison Borlas is to you?
She is my stepdaughter.
And who was that?
Let's pause here. 12 years. That's a maximum sentence Zachary can face under this plea deal. Thing about that, the state wanted more, but the plea bargain essentially shields him from a potentially much harsher sentence. This is where people often argue whether plea deals protect justice or protect criminals. What's your take?
Zachary Warren to you.
He's my brother-in-law.
And prior to the incident in June 2017 and the outcry in January 2018, were Allison and Zachary close?
Yes.
Can you describe their relationship?
They got along great. I mean, she loved her uncle so much.
And did you trust Zachary?
Yes.
And how did you find out
About it. It was the first of the year of 2018. Sorry, I'm a little troubled. And she just told me everything that happened.
And how was Allison when she told you this?
She was scared. She was worried that she would be in trouble. She didn't really understand that she didn't do anything wrong.
And how old was she at the time?
Whenever it happened, she was 4.
And how was it for you and your family, your husband, finding out something like this had happened?
It was a very scary situation. I mean,
Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand if you can state your name for the record, please.
Christine Miller, CHRISTINE, MILLE.
Defense?
Ms. Miller, can you tell the judge what kind of work you did?
I'm a licensed professional counselor with the state of Texas, in Bernie, Texas.
Okay, and tell the judge what kind of counseling services you ordinarily perform, or what you're licensed to perform.
So I use a couple of techniques for people to help them. Counseling is a way of confiding in someone, and the techniques that I use are cognitive behavioral therapy, which is change your mind, changes your body and vice versa. I also use something called EMDR, which changes the mental pathways in your brain. And that helps people who have gone through a really hard time in the past or with post-traumatic stress. And that helps them not experience those triggers, post-traumatic stress symptoms. And if it's highly effective, it's the #1 most researched method in counseling. So I've had a lot of success with that. I have been using it since 2012, where I've been trained.
So let me try to break this down into just a couple questions. So how long have you been licensed as a counselor, you said?
Since 2012, fully licensed without being an intern since 2016.
In that time, have you worked with other people who have come to you for counseling regarding sex offenses or family violence offenses?
Family violence, yes, not specifically sex offenses.
Okay, so can you tell the court how you met Zach and then about the type of treatment and services you provided to Zach?
He was referred to me by a previous client, and I have seen him 4 times recently, and it is my opinion that he has been honest with me, forthcoming, explained the situation. I was able to use.
Now this is fascinating. The counselor claimed Zach was sincere and honest in therapy. But here's the catch. She admitted she's not licensed to do a formal risk assessment. That means her testimony about his honesty is more opinion than science. Should that carry weight in court? Or is this just smoke and mirrors from the defense?
The techniques that I have described to you on at least 2 of the 4 occasions, and I felt his sincerity and honesty with me and openness.
So when you talk about the treatment you provided, does that explore his past history? Does that talk about things that trigger him? Does the work you do, is that supposed to work on him being able to be a better person moving forward?
Yes. So it takes those memories, those childhood memories, and we change the mental result. It's, for example, you change the ending to a story. You might read a story, and you change the ending. You can do that in your brain. It's fascinating. And they're exploring all kinds of neural pathways in the brain nowadays. And so keeping up with that, it actually changes your behavior. So for post-traumatic stress, if you're being triggered and you act out, post-traumatic stress, it feels like the past situation is actually happening now, and it changes that. You start thinking about it less and less and less, and it
Counseling,
yes,
and work with these different techniques that you use in order to help him deal with the issues he dealt with.
Yes, he has asked to be continued, and I would gladly pursue that.
Okay, now, you're not, you and I talked about this, you're not licensed to perform any sort of risk assessment.
No.
That's just a different specified type of license that you ever.
Just a couple questions.
Yes.
You
No. No.
and you said you provided behavioral treatment to him only twice. Is that correct?
No, well, 2 out of the 4 sessions. Counseling is also in speaking what has happened to you. It has some sort of effect on you, so that it eases pain and help.
No other questions.
I'm nothing further.
All right, thank you. Defense, call your next witness.
Laura Lee Warren. Okay, you can just speak on it, okay, because she's got to take down the record.
On his way.
And you understand we're here today because we're asking the judge to consider Zach's application for deferred adjudication, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you know what he's charged with, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he entered a plea on that case and he's applying for deferred. And one of the issues that is always raised on cases like this is if somebody is granted probation or deferred, there are restrictions on a person's contact with children. Now, you and Zach have you have a 10-year-old, right?
Yes, sir.
Does he, are you the primary custodian?
Yes.
And you understand that your duty as a parent is to look out for the...
Wait, did you catch that? She's actually saying she'd be fine with him back home, around her own child. That's a jaw-drop moment. From a legal standpoint, this is where CPS, Child Protective Services, usually steps in if they think a parent isn't protecting the child's best interests. Audience, what do you think? Is this blind loyalty or denial at its most dangerous?
the best interest of your child, correct?
Correct.
And are you comfortable with asking the judge if Zach is granted deferred, with Zach being in your house with you and your child?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand CPS has no qualms about removing a child if they think a mother is not acting in the child's best interest. Okay. And how long have you and Zach been together?
About on and off 5 years. I mean, I've known him for 5 years. So,
And have you seen Zach exhibit any sort of behavior that would give you any concerns about Zach being around your child? And if the judge does grant Zach's application for deferred, are you willing to participate in a chaperone program?
yes.
And you and I talked about that, right, the requirement for Zach to be around your child if the court granted that.
Yes.
And are you asking the judge to give Zach a chance at deferred adjudication?
Yes.
Judge, I pass the witness.
Right, state.
Just a couple questions. You said you and Zach have been together about 5 years?
Yeah, on and off.
So you guys got together when your son was about 5 years old?
Yes.
Do you guys plan to have kids?
No.
No other questions?
I have nothing further, Judge.
All right, thank you for coming. Can you raise your hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
How you can lower your hand if you state your name for the record and please spell it.
Shirley Jo Blair, SHIRLEY JOBLAIR.
Thanks.
Ma'am, how are you related to Zach?
Zachary is my son.
And you understand we're here today because Zach applied for deferred adjudication on this case, correct?
Yes.
And you know, we've talked about what the specific allegations are,
Yes.
right? And you were present when we were set for trial and when Zach entered the plea.
Yes.
And you and I talked about this, and you felt more comfortable if you wanted to read a letter that you prepared to the judge.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Any objections to
Okay, here comes an emotional tug of war. Zach's mother is about to humanize him, painting him as a loving, misunderstood son. This is classic defense mitigation. If you can't erase a crime, shift the focus to character. But should a parent's love outweigh the voice of a victim? Stay with me, because Judge Boyd's reaction will surprise everyone.
her reading the letter?
No objection. I mean, she's still subject to cross-examination.
Yes, you may read your letter. How long is the letter?
It's typed, but it's big print, but it's 3 pages.
All right, no problem. I was just wondering.
And Judge, on that note, I want to make sure that you got the victim impact statement that was submitted separately.
Yes, I received it, but I have not reviewed.
I got it.
Any objections? All right, so you may begin with your letter.
My name is Shirley Jo Blair. I would first like to take a moment to state that while my experience in criminal law is but a very small fraction of my experience, I'm a career paralegal. I have been for 26 years. I'm a senior litigation case manager and a case manager team lead, responsible for 12 case managers, litigation assistants, and interns. I say that, Judge, so that you know I'm an educated person. As I sit here today, it's still unreal to me that my family has been going through all of these years. The amount of trauma that every member of our family has gone through is more than I can put into words. My children and my family have been torn apart, and the relationship between them irreparable. I, as well as the rest of the family, have had to separate our lives between children and grandchildren. My granddaughter has had to endure things at a young age that no one, let alone a child, should have to go through and understand. My son has endured things that no one should have to endure or be subjected to. There are no winners here today, at least not for my family. It is impossible to sum up all of the things that I feel that should be heard here today, so please bear with me as I'm going to try to best highlight the things I feel most important to say. I was blessed with 3 sons, Zachary being my youngest, and I need to tell you a little bit about him, because as he sits here today in front of you, you see only the charges that have been brought against him. You see someone who has been painted as a monster and a menace to society. On the day of ultimate judgment, he'll stand before God, and God knows all of him. So it's unfair for someone who should be taxed with judging him with such a life-altering sentence should not know a little bit more about him. And that's what I've written this, so that you have more than what's in your court papers. Zachary was born premature. But by far, after Zachary came, he was the most outgoing, kind-hearted, considerate child, always has been. Always thought of others before himself. All of my boys are all of those things, but it's not about them. Zachary has always had such a deep-rooted sense of need to take care of everyone around him, make them laugh, feel welcome, and feel loved. The sheer number of times during Zachary's life that someone has told me that I raised such a polite, well-mannered, helpful, and considerate child has always given me such a sense of pride. It's also something that's always seemed to get me through the hard times. See, 2 of my 3 sons, Zachary and Trevor, were diagnosed at a young age, first with ADHD and then bipolar disorder. So not every day was a walk in the park. There were depressive and angry days where he felt no one loved him and life was unfair, and there were manic days where he was the happiest person on the planet. At his core, though, Zachary is and always has been that sweet, loving, funny, considerate person